You can break me, hurt me, use me. You can leave me, forsake me. You can talk to me, pray with me, dream with me. But when will you see me? When will you reach me? When will you touch me? When will you embrace my soul? This is a poem I wrote many years ago. Stay till the end of the video and you will understand why I'm reading this and what it has to do with the message that Source wants you to hear today. If you found the channel, if you're new here, you are very welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, I appreciate you. Thank you for all the support. I received a message from Source for this collective, and then I had visions that supported that afterwards. As always, take what resonates and leave the rest as this is for a collective, and a frequency has a bandwidth. Not all of you are at the same place. We are individuals. Not all of you will experience everything in the same way. That goes without saying, actually. So I will describe to you the visions I had before I bring to you the message that Source was laying on my heart. When I received this vision, I was reluctant. I was wondering, should I share the visuals with you, or just what I know it means. I went to my favorite spot in the garden. I've told you about it before. It is truly a sacred space. And when I connected, immediately I was standing in a space facing what can only be described as the typical illustration of the devil. The goat sitting there with his cloak, and his eyes was glowing. He didn't say anything to me. I wasn't scared. And I don't think he tried to intimidate me. He was just there. Everything was red. It was all shown to me like the archetypical images that we have of what most perceive as evil. And there was a road that was actually the backbone of something large, with the ribs on the side that formed a passageway. And then it went up, and it became a tunnel, and in the tunnel the bats was flying, and there in the further away I could see the sky. I just observed this, and I know what it meant. This is the place where many of you who are part of this collective are finding yourself. It is the dark side. It is that side of you where your demons are. That side where the things are that you are afraid to face. But you have faced it. Because literally this path was made out of the skeleton of a slain creature. But there still was this image with the goat head sitting, which shows us when you have slain the demons inside, when you have conquered the things that you fear, the things that you thought made you unacceptable to yourself or to others, mostly yourself actually, that side of you still lives. That side of you is still there. But it is not something to reject. It is not something evil. And I will talk more about this and explain this a bit later. I just want to finish telling you what I saw. Then suddenly I was in an open field, very bright sunlight, green grass, walking on the path, and next to me was Jesus. Sorry, but I'm laughing because you can't make this up. So there was a big contrast between where I just was and where I was now. And I was just talking to Jesus. We were just having a friendly conversation. Everything felt so familiar and safe. I just smiled and thanked him basically for being there. Always, always, always. And that was just a beautiful moment. It was just a beautiful time. What I later realized was that this space, we were walking on a path, talking next to each other. And we were on the path to the gateway that I've described in 2 other videos of mine. That was sometimes looked organic and was quite scary. And in the second video, I've told you that I've seen it in the day, and it's wasn't threatening, was less scary. But that was the portal to higher dimensions after I've been in what I experienced like the entrance hall, where all the gods and goddesses are. This is the space. I understood the visions because before I had them, this was the message Source was bringing to me. We know that there is duality, but actually everything is one. So we will see something as 2 sides, but there isn't a separation as we might feel it in the 3D. The feeling of being separate is the one that is the driving force to us exploring and discovering more and awakening. That is when you are born, you start to feel separate from your mother, and when your needs are not met, you feel you can't rely on your parents even as a small child, and you start to conform to what they want from you or to what society want from you, because then your needs are met. You don't feel so alone or separate. But inherent there is this longing to be seen, to be understood, to be seen for who you truly are and accepted without judgment. That is a longing that every human has. And it is there for us so that can be a catalyst for our awakening, because every human will at some stage awaken. It might not be in one lifetime. The universe, Source, is love. And if all that is love, how can it be that there is dark and light and good and bad, or good and evil? It is only possible if you understand that dark and light are not judged as good and bad. That everything is love. It is the reason I read the poem to you in the beginning of the video. The poem is an expression of the longing we have to be truly seen for who we are. We can use the word appreciation. So as we advance on the spiritual path, as we ascend, we start to appreciate everything, not only other persons, other humans. We start to appreciate everything around us in nature, the mineral world, the spiritual world. We start to appreciate everything for what it is. The moment we put a value to it or a comparison, we are not seeing it for itself. We are not experiencing it as it is, as its being, or seeing it in its beingness. So what happens if we truly have the desire to know God, to know Source, to know ourselves, who we are, to find truth? We go inside, into our own being, we examine that. And the way to do it is to be still and wait and ask. Do whatever works for you, but don't just talk, don't just scream to the heavens or cry. That is all emotion, and when emotions are high, we often can't listen. I'm not telling you to not have emotions. Get the emotions out when you are connecting with Source. It is all fine. But then you must fall into the stillness. Use your breath. Use your breath till you find the place where you can separate yourself from your avatar. You can separate yourself from everything around you. Some call it meditation. You can do it with open or closed eyes. Then ask the questions. Why am I doing this? Why am I jealous? Why am I angry? Why am I hurt? Why am I feeling alone? Ask those questions. The answers will come. Something in yourself that you do not like. Say nobody wants to be jealous. Why am I jealous? And the moment you ask that, you are seeing that side of you. You are giving it love. And the moment this dark side of you receive the love, are seen, then you more and more love, and love grows. You can feel the relief, you can feel the peace, you can feel the freedom. It doesn't change that, but when it is seen, it is loved. There is a reason for everything. So the thing that you might not like had a reason to bring you to a certain realization. And that will be different for everyone. Because we live unique lives and we experience things in a unique way. Both dark and light are love. Because there's nothing outside of love. What I'm hearing is that when we think of emotions, you think of the vibrational scale, and you think of peace and love and joy that are very high on the vibrational scale. Those are descriptions of emotions that you have. But when I'm talking about love, I'm talking about a state of being that is always there. So as we start to see every aspect of ourselves and accept it, our vibration becomes one of love. But then there is the higher vibration, authenticity. To understand why it is said that it is the highest vibration, is to understand exactly what love is. You can't actually separate the two, because when you are authentically yourself, you are accepting yourself for who you are. If you accept everything else for what they are, what it is, authentically, you are loving it. So you can't really love yourself without being authentic. Because if you are not authentic, you are asking yourself to be something that you are not. So you are not accepting yourself. It is Eckhart Tolle who talks about before a child gives objects names, it is just, they just observe it for what it is. And then a child is told, this is a car, this is a flower, this is Bob, this is Sarah. And then it gets an identity, or then the collective consciousness attached to that description becomes part of your description of that thing. And then the intuitive appreciation of it is lost. That is why in the Bible it says you have to become like a child. You must just look at somebody else, at yourself, at the things in your reality with the curiosity and appreciation that you had when you came into this world and first started to observe the things around you. If you are in this dark cave, it might even be that some of you are in the dark night, are going through the dark night of the soul. To be afraid of it is not necessary. I have seen that you have already conquered those fears. You are stepping on its backbone, being guided through the dark, as I've seen in previous visions also, by the bats that knows exactly through the vibrations where to go. It's who knows exactly how to navigate in the dark. You are led to this bright place where you will see yourself and accept yourself with this kindness, as Jesus demonstrated when he was here on earth. Thank you for listening, and please let me know how this resonated or where you're at in your journey. I read every comment, and at this stage I can still comment on, can still answer questions for you in the comments. If you want to know more about my writing or my art, the webpage is linked in the description and in the end of the video. I send you my infinite love till I speak to you again in the next video. Goodbye.